Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. This is the Sussex County Commissioner meeting on March 23rd, 2022, here at 6 p.m. at the Sussex County Community College Performing Arts Center. I'd like to call this meeting to order and ask for Terry to please call the roll.
Commissioner Carney.
Here.
Commissioner Fantasia.
Here.
Director Fasano.
Here.
Commissioner Patillo.
Here.
Commissioner Yardley.
Here.
For tonight's moment of silence, we ask that you join us in remembrance of Ray Courts, who we lost last week, and to please keep his family in your thoughts. Many people in Sussex County knew Ray because of his involvement and commitment to Sussex County. In fact, many affectionately knew him as Mr. Sussex County, as he was a leader in community involvement and a champion of many worthy causes and so much more. May he rest in peace, and may I ask for you to join with me in a moment of silence and a salute to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, PL 1975, adequate notice as defined by Section 3D of Chapter 231, PL 1975, has been made by regular mail and email, such notice being submitted on January 9, 2022, from the Administrative Center of the County of Sussex, located at 1 Spring Street in Newton, New Jersey, to the following: the New Jersey Herald, the Star Ledger, WSUS Radio, and WNNJ Radio, and is also posted on the bulletin board maintained in the Administrative Center for Public Announcements and has been submitted to the Sussex County Clerk in compliance with said act. At this time, we'd like to remind you to please mute all electronic devices. Item 5 on our agenda is the approval of our agenda. Is there a motion to approve our agenda?
So moved.
Commissioner Patillo moves. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Fantasia seconds. Any discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining? Motion carries. Item 6 on our agenda is our proclamations, certificates, and presentations. The first one regarding Sexual Assault Awareness Month. Commissioner Yardley will be presenting this proclamation at an upcoming Daisy Clotheslines event on the Green. Item number 3, those certificates will also be presented at the DAR luncheon by Commissioner Yardley. So Commissioner Yardley is doing some work on our proclamations. So we will go to item number 2, which is the Takedown Tobacco National Day of Action. And do we have Elise or Ayla here from the Center for Prevention and Counseling to accept this proclamation? Or anyone from the Center for Prevention and Counseling? No worries, that's okay. I'm going to ask Commissioner Carney if he can please present this proclamation.
Thank you, Director. Whereas tobacco is still the #1 leading cause of preventable death in the U.S. and across the globe, and whereas the tobacco industry markets a wide range of addictive and dangerous products that have resulted in the increase in youth e-cigarettes use, and whereas youth tobacco rates are at a 20-year high in the U.S., due to the worsening youth e-cigarette epidemic, reversing the progress that has been made toward reducing tobacco use, and whereas young people ages 13 through 24 can receive free tobacco cessation support through a partnership with Tobacco Free for a Healthy New Jersey and the Truth Initiative by texting Vapor Free New Jersey to 88709, and whereas Takedown Tobacco is a campaign for tobacco-free kids, signature platform for empowering people to stand up and speak out against the tobacco industry's tactics to deceive youth. And whereas the Takedown Tobacco National Day of Action is a day of activism with communities across the world rally together against the tobacco industry, reflecting on how far they have come and how far they still need to go to create the first tobacco-free generation. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Sussex County Board of County Commissioners does hereby proclaim that April 1st, 2022 is the Takedown Tobacco National Day of Action, and together with the Center for Prevention and Counseling, Tobacco Free for a Healthy New Jersey, Incorruptible, and recognizes that tobacco products, including e-cigarettes, contain nicotine and other harmful substances that can cause lasting health effects. And be it further resolved that the Board of County Commissioners encourages all Sussex County residents to unite in raising awareness about tobacco use in their communities and encouraging all youth to stay tobacco-free. By order of the Board of County Commissioners, Commissioner Director Anthony Fasano, Deputy Commissioner Chris Carney, Commissioners Sylvia Patillo, Herbert Yardley, and Dawn Fantasia.
Thank you, Chris. Is there a motion to adopt the proclamations?
So moved.
Commissioner Patillo moves. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Fantasia seconds. Any discussion?
I just have a question. Does anyone know when the clothesline event is going to take place, the date on that? Herb, would you know?
What?
The date of the clothesline event?
I thought it was April, but I don't have the exact date.
It is April.
Yeah, it's usually in April.
I know Terry's
Wait a
looking.
minute.
You can tell me after the meeting. It's okay. You don't have to hold up the meeting.
Okay.
Thanks.
Any other discussion?
Excuse me, it's April 12th.
April 12th.
And a rain date of April 19th.
Okay.
12 to 1.
Thank
You,
you.
Terry.
Yeah, April 11:30
11:30?
a.m.
Yeah, to arrive.
Okay.
Okay, we have a motion. We have a second to adopt the proclamations. Any further discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining? Motion carries. Item 7 on our agenda is our public hearings portion, in which we have none. Item 8 on our agenda is our public session from the floor. This public session is for those wishing to make a comment of 3 minutes or less regarding an agenda item. Please line up at the microphone and maintain 6 feet social distance with other attendees. When you arrive, please state your name, your municipality, and the agenda topic for the record. Is there a motion to open the floor for public comment for agenda items only?
So moved.
Commissioner Patillo moves. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Carney seconds. Any discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining? Motion carries, and the floor is now open to the public regarding agenda items only.
Good evening, everyone. Alex Majewski from Newton. The item I'd like to speak about is 15B for authorizing the emergency temporary appropriations. I'm just curious what those appropriations are and if the board would be kind enough to identify that for the public. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex. I will answer that question once we close public comment. Are there any other public comments? Seeing none, is there a motion to close the floor for public comment?
So moved.
Second.
Sylvia moves. Herb seconds. Any discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining? Motion carries. The question asks about authorizing emergency temporary appropriations of the 2022 operating budget for Sussex County. This resolution increases the temporary budget until the final budget is adopted for another month of appropriations. This includes our annual pension payment, the requisition of flu vaccines, the renewal of some of our software, on-base software, payroll payments, and things of that nature. However, all of the appropriations in this resolution, I do want to mention, are already provided for in the 2022 budget. Item 9 on our agenda is Commissioner comments, and as always, we'll start to my left with Commissioner Patillo.
Okay, thank you. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for coming this evening. Okay, let's see what we have. WSUS, WNNJ, and Max radio stations hosted the 6th annual Backpack Snacks for Kids food drive at Weiss Markets in Franklin and Newton on Saturday, March 19th. This food drive collected over 6,000 pounds of food and $354 in monetary donations to benefit the Social Services Food Pantry, which provides weekend meals for students in 8 school districts. Because of the generosity of the Sussex County community and the dedication and efforts of the WSUS, WNNJ, and Max radio stations and Rice Markets, Sussex County children are receiving nutritious weekend meals and snacks. They have what's called the Backpack Snacks for Kids. That's what this is about. All of that money that was donated and all of the food that came in, 6,000 pounds, will be used to stuff those backpacks for children who may not have food available to eat over the weekend. So great big thank you to everyone that was involved in that. That money and those donations of food are going to feed a lot of kids. Next, we have the Center for Lifelong Learning that will offer a free presentation on Friday, March 25th at 3 p.m. via Zoom or telephone. A beginner's guide to selling online will be presented. And for more information and to register, please call the Sussex County Division of Senior Services at 973-579-0555, extension 1277. For our social services announcements, March is National Nutrition Month, and it is celebrated in March and is a reminder of the importance of healthy eating. Seniors ages 60 and over can receive a nutritious midday hot meal by calling one of Sussex County's 3 congregate nutrition sites. There is one in Franklin, one in Vernon, and one in Apacon. And even if you don't live in those towns, you can go there to be a part of that nutrition site. Seniors can reserve and pick up a meal via our Grab and Go program. And for more information, call the Division of Senior Services, again at 973-579-0555. A Senior Services Caregiver Support Group meeting will be held virtually by Zoom from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. on Friday, April 1st. For more information or to register to attend these meetings, please call the Division of Senior Services at 973-579-0555, extension 1288. A woman's health clinic will be held on Thursday, March 31st from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the Office of Public Health Nursing. And to make an appointment, you can call the Office of Public Health Nursing at 973-579-0570, extension 1246. Now for the month of February, the Division of Health, for our environmental health report, inspected 133 food establishments, 1 recreational bathing facility, 2 animal facilities, and 2 tanning facilities. And last, on March 16th, Director Anthony Fasano and I attended a very significant ceremony in Apacon, the swearing-in of Chief Megan Mccluskey. Megan is the first woman police chief in the borough of Apacon and in the county of Sussex. Megan did not receive this distinguished honor because she was a woman, and she wasn't denied this position because she was a woman. Megan was sworn in as Apacon's first woman chief of police because she earned this distinguished honor. She is a Apacon hometown girl that was hired as a patrol woman at 20 years old and worked her way up all the ranks to the prominent position of police chief. As a former mayor of Apacon, I had the privilege of watching Megan's successes in every position she held in that department. Megan is smart, professional, kind, and compassionate. But make no mistake, she is an enforcer, and I am so very proud of her. Tonight, I would like to congratulate her again on all her accomplishments and thank her for her many years of service to our community. May God bless her, watch over her, and keep her safe. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Patillo. Commissioner Fantasia.
Thank you. I'm going to start with information from our Division of Health. The Sussex County Division of Health, in collaboration with Sparta Pharmacy, continues to offer COVID-19 vaccinations for all 3 of the manufacturers. You can get your first, second, or third booster shots. Clinics are being held on the following dates: at Blessed Kateri Church, Stanhope Road in Sparta, and that's on Monday, March 28th from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. So that's one of our first evening ones. That one is a little bit different. Also at the Health Division, Office of Public Health Nursing on Wheatsworth in Hamburg on Thursday, April 7th from 3 to 6, Wednesday, April 20th, 8:30 to 5:30, and Tuesday, April 26th from 3 to 6. Byram Firehouse was added here on Thursday, April 14th from 12:30 to 3:30. So again, just check the county website if your choice is to be vaccinated. You can also fill out a form ahead of time, a consent form, and Public Health Nursing continues to provide homebound vaccinations. Now, the most recent New Jersey Department of Health update leaves the county coded yellow and the rest of the state, which indicates a moderate activity level, and we're absolutely consistent with other states across the nation who have not had draconian orders from their governor for masking and distancing and the like. We are exactly neck and neck with states that do not have those types of restrictions or did not have those types of restrictions. For the past week, Sussex County is reporting on average about 10 cases a day. The New Jersey Department of Health is, quote, cleaning the data in the Communicable Disease Reporting and Surveillance System. That's our CDRSS here in the state. Department of Health is both entering and removing old cases in the Sussex County COVID-19 data, so they are looking to revise and update. Public Health Nursing uses that data to track the numbers of COVID-19 new cases, total cases, and deaths. Therefore, these reports may include a high number of new cases or a large decrease in total cases. So basically, when you will look at the data, you will not understand what you are looking at, which aligns pretty much to what the Department of Health has been keeping us up to date with this whole time. I'm not quite sure what that segment means for us, but I would say that if you have any specific questions, data will be in question for a period of time. Now, COVID reports do indicate a decreasing number of COVID-19 cases. About 25% of our population here in Sussex County have a confirmed case of COVID-19 since the start of the pandemic, with a total of 471 deaths. So it's about 1.3% of our cases of COVID. Now, everybody's always interested in hospitalization data, and this is actually very, very promising. We had in March thus far 10 hospitalizations. For reference, in February we had 49, and in January we had 207. So as you can see, the likelihood of severe cases and hospitalizations have dropped. We are also carefully watching outbreaks in long-term care facilities. We are all aware of the Andover subacute nightmare that appears to continue. As of right now, 8 outbreaks are noted in the county, 4 in long-term care facilities, 1 in a group home, 2 in daycare centers, and 1 in a business. And again, outbreaks must be traced back to actually passing from one individual to another within that facility. So not if 5 people go to work and they all brought it from home. It's actually spread within that facility. Again, the former Andover subacute is one of those facilities on this list that continues to experience severe issues. As far as variants, nothing much has changed. Delta is less than 0.5%, and Omicron represents all of the rest. So for information about all things COVID, testing, any of that, you can please visit the Sussex County website, sussex.nj.us, or you can always call the Office of Public Health Nursing, 973-579-0570, extension 1211. All of the information that I just shared is, of course, on our website. We seem to be moving in the right direction. Hats off to our Office of Public Health Nursing and our Division of Health in general, who really has tried to make sense and keep a handle on what appears to be senseless oftentimes from the New Jersey Department of Health under the watch of Governor Phil Murphy. A couple other updates I can share with you. Senator Oraho, Assemblyman Wirths, Commissioner Carney, and myself attended a school choice event. The National Alliance for Public Charter Schools President Nina Reese came to the state of New Jersey. She's normally down in D.C., and she hails from Virginia. She came up for an event here in response to some of the recent denials of public charter school expansions and approvals in the state of New Jersey. So we were there. I was actually asked to speak at the event, and I think it was positive. I think it continued to build awareness for what we seem to be hearing frequently about parents asking for increased school choice options. Also, Senator Oroho and I attended the NJOA annual game dinner that was located at the, the Black Forest Inn in Stanhope. That was just this past Sunday. It's timely because it also brings to mind the June 21st, 2021 expiration of the state's comprehensive black bear management policy. Now, a prior New Jersey Supreme Court hearing back in 2007 ruled that if the black bear management policy ever expired and was not re-signed by the commissioner at the time, that there would be no bear hunt. So I can tell you with certainty that the commissioner did not sign that, the newly appointed Commissioner Sean LaTourette. He's avoided signing the updated black bear management plan, thus eliminating the hunt. So expect as we enter into spring to seeing more conflicts is what we anticipate between humans and wildlife. So we will keep a close eye on that. Oftentimes these decisions are not made by our representatives in northwestern New Jersey and are often made by what we refer to as city folk who maybe never have the joy of coming home and dealing with the issues that we deal with here in northwest New Jersey. And speaking of northwest New Jersey, yesterday was National Agriculture Day, and I want to take a moment to share with you just a few facts about agriculture in Sussex County. We know Sussex County's 565 square miles. We're home to over 1,000 farms here in Sussex County. Actually, in New Jersey, just about 1 in every 10 farms in the state are actually here in Sussex County. We are suppliers of livestock, poultry, eggs, produce, dairy, flowers, honey, trees. And the Sussex County Agricultural Development Board has preserved more than 180 farms in Sussex County and over 17,500 acres of farmland. And if you're interested to learn more about agriculture in Sussex County, you can visit our website, and the Ag Board is actually a tab that's on that website, and they have all different kinds of connections for you if you're interested in local farms, farmers markets, or agritourism, which is a huge piece of Sussex County. So that's all I have for tonight. Thank you.
We're also looking for members, if anybody's interested.
I'm sorry?
We're also looking for members if anybody's interested out there. I believe there's one position open there,
Yes,
right?
that's
I think
right.
there's, might be 2. I think there's 2 actually. So if anybody out there is interested in joining that board, send us your info. Send Terry. She get her email and send her that information.
You can go to our website and you can complete a volunteer form.
Since Terry is not microphoned there, I'll just repeat what she said. If you're interested in serving on the Agriculture Board in Sussex County, there are a couple positions open for volunteer positions on that board. So if you visit our county website, there is a form that you can fill out to express your interest, and we would love to have you join and be a part of it. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Fantasia. Commissioner Yardley.
Thank you. I attended a Jenny's House meeting, and Jenny's House services those children that are sexual abuse, and it's a very serious issue. And they do a lot of work in identifying and helping the children testify against the abusers. It has been a tough year for them because with COVID, we've been stuck in the houses. So where they usually hear about this, maybe through school, a teacher, a nurse, there have been some decreases in the number of children that have been reported. But they continue to operate. They will be having an event, a charitable event by which you can attend and buy some tickets and support Jenny's House. And if you'd like more information, please go onto their website and find out about that. I also attended the NJAC, National New Jersey Association of Counties. I hate acronyms, but I got that one. And they had a regional meeting, and at that meeting, it was very interesting because every county was asked to talk about some of the things that their counties had accomplished. And as we listened to all of these great things that everyone was able to do, Sussex County's turn came up, and I have a whole bunch of things. And I think what I'll do is, over our meetings, maybe I'll just talk about them individually, because I don't want to take up all of the meeting's time. But one of the things that I talked about was the resilience of Sussex County. You know, we went through, and I explained to them, we went through a situation where the county had no money to buy anything. And we did it anyway. And we said we're going to do it regardless of whether we have the money, because we had an emergency. And we fought with the governor. And I will say that the New Jersey Association of Counties did support us. We ultimately did get funding. But it was a very trying time. We were able to do a vaccination site without the hospital being involved and with volunteers. And one of the things that I talked about was the resilience and the volunteers of this county. We did a remarkable job. I think the health department did a great job, the nursing did a great job, and our nurses came to work every day. And I happened to go up the other day, and I saw something for the first time since the last couple of years, and that was smiles on people's faces. The masks were gone. The pressure of all those phone calls, and if you've ever had to take phone call after phone call to call somebody and in contact tracing, and some people hang up the phone. But they had to go through that. They did a great job, and I was really happy to see that there's a lot of spirit left in our staff. And I wanted to say that they did a great job, and I think the whole board will tell you how hard they all worked. And there are some other things that I'll talk about at our next meeting that I talked about when we were at the event. So on another note, I wanted to talk about Veterans Outreach. Now, I talked about this at one of the other meetings, but I wanted to go over it again because I think it's important. And if you know veterans, they can go to the website, Senior Services website, and look up this information. It's there, or if you know somebody, you can take a look. Veterans Outreach, the Sussex County Division of Senior Services and Catholic Family and Community Services have collaborated for supportive services for veterans. Every Wednesday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., a case manager or a healthcare navigator outreach worker from Catholic Charities and Community Services will be on site at the Sussex County Administrative Center, 1 Spring Street, Newton, at 1 Spring Division of Senior Services. And that's one of the great things we did. We have a partnership with other agencies where many counties, well, won't go too far, but a lot of the counties, they're doing this all. They don't have partnerships, and we are able to bring in partnerships that work with us. Very important thing that we do for the county. Sussex County Veterans Appreciation Program. Sussex County will be holding a Veterans Appreciation Program on Monday, April 25th from 11 to 2 p.m. Sussex County veterans must register by April 15th by contacting the Sussex County Senior Services at 973-579-055, extension 1277, or Senior Services at Sussex.NJ. And that will be held at Farmstead Golf Course. So I look forward to that. I have another thing with the VOTEC school. A couple good things that have happened. This year, they're offering an optics elective in their science department that is concurrent with a course that's through Sussex County Community College. They have 25 students enrolled in it, and they'll receive college credits. This is a great thing. Their senior valedictorian, Charles Lorate, will be attending West Point in the fall. I think that's just wonderful that we have a student going to West Point. We have a girls tennis team. We're conference championship this year. The bowling team was once again the New Jersey Association Conference of Champions and the state champs. And the school is very quickly moving to that feeling of normalcy now that COVID mandates have ended or been lifted. And I think that's a great thing for the schools. And I just wanted to say I was really impressed with the Senate. They voted unanimously to take daylight savings permanently around and make it permanent, what we have now. But the House can't make up their mind. And this is an issue that is kind of identifies what's happening in government. They just can't get something which appears to be simple. And if it's not, I'm sure somebody's going to call me or text me or email me how it's not. Can't you split the difference? So this is an issue that has been going on for years and years. And I'd love to know what is it so important that we keep moving the clock back and forth. And finally, Facebook and Twitter are restricting a disputed New York Post story about Joe Biden's son. This is from 2020. Facebook has reduced its reach of the New York, and you're wondering, why am I talking about this? I'll wrap it together. New York Post makes disputed claims about Vice President Joe Biden's son, Hunter, pending a fact-check review. This is, you can go on, you can find this online. And this comes from the New York Times. While I intentionally do not link the New York Post, I want to be clear the story is eligible to be fact-checked by Facebook, third-party fact-checking partners. In the meantime, we are reducing. Twitter banned it. Facebook partners are fact-checking it. And the content is rated or partially, if it might have a statement that this might be partially false, adding a warning label, making users less likely to see it. It removes some content that it deems likely to harm. So I don't know if you saw the recent article. You're not going to see it on national news, but the Times said the government investigation of Hunter Biden, this is current, so you can go online and check this, the government's investigating Hunter Biden's tax and foreign business affairs. The news here has less to do with him and more the fact that those emails recovered from the discarded laptop. Now remember, that information was considered false a year ago during the election. From the discarded laptop were his best efforts by Twitter or social media news companies to bury and not look closely at the fact on the eve of the 2020 election. And then it goes on to say, this is again in New York Times, those emails obtained by the New York Times from a catch of files that appeared to have come from a laptop abandoned by Mr. Biden in Delaware repair shop. The email and others were authenticated by people familiar with the investigation. And all I'm going to say is be very careful with the information you get from the news media and from newspapers, because it potentially could be censored, and we all know that. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Yardley. Deputy Director Carney.
Thank you, Director. I'll go over Division of Engineering, just to give you some updates. Replacement of traffic signal at the intersection of County Route 607, Crescent Road, Lakeside Boulevard. On August 11th of last year, the board awarded a construction contract for replacement of a traffic signal located in the borough of Hobacon. The signal controls the flow of traffic in intersection, as I said, of County Route 607, also known as River Styx Road, with Crescent Set Road and Lakeside Boulevard. Work under contract includes replacement of the 46-year-old traffic signal, replacement of the intersection sidewalks, and upgrades to the stormwater collection system within the intersection. Construction began last week and is expected to be completed by June of next year for you Hopakon people. Project updates will be posted on the county's web on the engineering homepage. Bridge D38, Njdot Local Aid Infrastructure Fund Grant is where it gets good. On June 9th of last year, the board authorized submittal of an application to the New Jersey Department of Transportation, fiscal year 2021, Local Aid Infrastructure Fund Grant Program. This application requested grant funding toward the replacement of Bridge D38. This bridge is located in the Frankfort Township and carries over County Route 519 over the Dry Brook. The grant program was established as an Njdot discretionary fund to help address local emergencies and regional needs. Applications received by the Njdot are evaluated for eligibility under the program and is subject to the availability of funds. Can be approved at the discretion of Njdot Commissioner. This program is one of many funded by the NJ Transportation Trust Fund, aka the TTF. Earlier this week, Sussex County was notified Njdot approved the program grant award of $500,000 for the replacement of D38. The award represents a significant funding allocation for a project expected to cost in excess of $1 million. The $500,000 directly offsets project costs, which will have otherwise been funded through the Sussex County Capital Funding Program. Another reason why the TTF is so important, and it's nice to finally get some more money back in Sussex County, because it seems like it goes everywhere else but here. Just one more thing with the NJTPA, just short. The Freight Committee was presented at their February meeting with a number of major freight rail improvements that will greatly improve the movement of containers in and out of the rapidly growth port of New Jersey and New York. Obviously, you see shelves of product not there. Hopefully this will help. I know we have a transportation problem all through America along our ports. I told you guys last meeting I was going to take a tour with Sheriff Strada, so that's going to take place tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Hopefully we can come up with a solution, maybe if we're going to use it or not, and I'll report back to you after I meet with him. That's all I have. That concludes my report.
Well, thank you, Deputy Director Carney, and thanks to all who are joining us this evening. It's hard to follow my colleagues, so I'll keep my report brief tonight. I'll start with COVID, as always. As we spoke about previously, last Friday was the final day of operation for the COVID-19 testing site at the Sussex County Fairgrounds, at least for now, and hopefully for good, to be honest with you. This decision for this site to be put up or to be put down depends on demand for these tests. I know we've talked about that before. We are capable. We certainly have a model here where if the demand for COVID tests were to go back up to January and February levels, we are prepared to put this program back in place at the fairgrounds. But as of now, it really doesn't make sense for that program to be at the fairgrounds because there isn't any demand for it. I did just want to thank the Sussex County Fairgrounds again for being the tremendous partner that they are, that they always have been for Sussex County. And I wanted to share about 600 rapid PCR tests, 600 rapid or PCR tests were completed at this location at the fairgrounds. Sussex County has also provided about 7,500 at-home tests to our residents and municipalities, and we will continue doing so. So for more information on COVID-19, for the latest and where to find resources that you need, please visit our website, which is sussex.nj.us/COVID-19. As Commissioner Patillo mentioned, and I think it's worth just mentioning again, last week I had the privilege of joining her at the swearing-in ceremony for Hopatcong Borough's new police chief, Chief Mccluskey, who became the first woman police chief in the borough of Hopatcong and in the county of Sussex. It's awesome. It's quite an accomplishment. I was honored to present a certificate of recognition on behalf of Sussex County to celebrate it, and on behalf of all of us, I just wanted to say congratulations to the chief. I wanted to give just a few highlights from a recent update I had regarding this institution, Sussex County Community College, with Dr. Connolly, who this year reported no student enrollment increases or decreases. And although that may not necessarily sound like something to celebrate, I thought it was worth noting that every other community college in the state of New Jersey is reporting student enrollment decreases in the range of 4 to 12%. Sussex County is the best at 0%. And speaking of enrollment for summer classes are now open, if you can believe it. In addition, the college is also focused on fall enrollment, open houses for students, the start of the spring athletics season, campus life event promotions for the spring, which I should highlight mean in-person events here for the spring, along with continuing to help students with financial aid and community college grant opportunities. And finally, I just wanted to mention that this week, Deputy Director Carney and I have a meeting scheduled with our county professionals to discuss the American Rescue Plan and where we are with key initiatives such as hazard pay, which is being finalized, and items that are getting underway, such as small business assistance, broadband infrastructure, road and bridge infrastructure, and other items, which are all tremendously important to the future of Sussex County. So I'm looking forward to that meeting with you. So with that concludes my report for this evening. We'll move to item 10 on our agenda, which is the approval of the consent agenda. The Board of County Commissioners of the County of Sussex has reviewed the consent agenda consisting of various proposed resolutions and determined that adoption of said resolutions is in and will further the public interest. If any commissioner would like to remove an item to be considered separately, please do so now. With that, is there a motion to adopt the consent agenda resolutions A and B?
So moved.
Commissioner Fantasia moves. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Yardley seconds. Any discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining? The motion carries. Item 11 on our agenda is the approval of our minutes. This is for our regular and executive session meeting on March 9th. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes from regular and executive on March 9th?
Still move.
Commissioner Carney moves. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Fantasia seconds. Any discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining? Motion carries. Item 12 on our agenda is our appointments and/or resignations, in which we have none tonight. Item 13 on our agenda is our resolutions portion. I did want to mention for the commissioner's sake that in front of you, you will find Resolution 13M. It was listed in title only. Part of the reason for that is that there was some work to get this item quicker to the county, and in doing so, it will bear significant savings to the county for this item to be moved tonight as opposed to our next meeting. That resolution is in front of you. With that, is there a motion to approve resolutions 13A through M?
So moved.
Commissioner Fantasia moves. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Yardley seconds. Any discussion?
Yes, for the sake of the public, can you just expand a bit on that as to what this late resolution, I know we've all received it, but for the benefit of the public?
Would you like to, Christine? Yeah, if you want to come on up. Yeah, sure. This is regarding 13M. This is for scheduling, transit scheduling software.
Hi, everyone. So the current software that we have for transit, the current transit scheduling software, the company was actually bought out by Uber, and they are discontinuing the service. Also, putting it on tonight's agenda will save us about over $50,000, as well as for the next 2 to 5 years, we'll save an additional $30,000 each year.
Thank you.
Thank
Yep.
you. Any other discussion? Okay, we have a motion. We have a second. Terry, can you please call the roll for items 13A through M?
Commissioner Patillo?
Yes.
Commissioner Yardley?
Yes.
Commissioner Carney?
Yes.
Commissioner Fantasia?
Yes.
Director Fasano?
Yes. Item carries. Item 14 on our agenda is the awards of contract change orders or bids. The Board of County Commissioners of the County of Sussex has reviewed the award of contract change orders or bids consisting of various proposed resolutions and determined that adoption of said resolutions is in and will further the public interest. Is there a motion to adopt Resolution 14A?
Still move.
Second.
Okay, Commissioner Carney moves. Commissioner Patillo seconds. Any discussion? Hearing none. Terry, can you please call the roll?
Commissioner Patillo?
Yes.
Commissioner Yardley?
Yes.
Commissioner Carney?
Yes.
Commissioner Fantasia?
Yes.
Director Fasano?
Yes. Item 15 on our agenda is our financial portion. Is there a motion to pay the bills list?
So moved.
Commissioner Patillo moves. Is there a second?
Second?
Commissioner Fantasia seconds. Any discussion? Terry, can you please call the roll?
Commissioner Patillo?
Yes.
Commissioner Yardley?
Yes.
Commissioner Carney?
Yes.
Commissioner Fantasia?
Yes.
Director Fasano?
Yes. Item 15B This is a resolution authorizing the emergency temporary appropriations of the 2022 operating budget for the County of Sussex. Do we have a motion for 15B?
So moved.
Commissioner
Second.
Patillo moves. Commissioner Fantasia moves. Commissioner Patillo seconds. Any discussion? Terry, can you please call the roll for item 15B?
Commissioner Patillo?
Yes.
Commissioner Yardley?
Yes.
Commissioner Carney?
Yes.
Commissioner Fantasia?
Yes.
Director Fasano?
Yes. Okay. Item 15C. I'm just going to, just for the benefit of the public. Item 15C, this resolution provides for the county to enter into a security agreement with the Sussex County Technical School. The technical school was awarded a grant for an expansion project through the Securing Our Children's Future Bond Act. The county portion of this grant is 25%. The state portion of this grant is 75%. However, the state's portion is done via reimbursement. The county is borrowing the full cost of this project to pay the construction costs and will be reimbursed throughout the year. The security agreement does formalize the technical school's responsibilities in respect to paying interest costs and things of that nature, just as a little bit of a descriptor there. So with that, do we have a motion for item 15C?
So moved.
Commissioner Patillo moves. Is there a
I'll
second?
second that.
Commissioner Yardley seconds. Any discussion?
The 25%, that's our special account, the funding from the homestead?
No. Yeah. We'll have Elka come up for you.
25% or approximately $1.4 million is part of last year's capital request when they applied for the grant. And that was, we approved a resolution for them to apply for that grant, and it's part of county capital.
Okay. Any other discussion on this item? Seeing none, Terry, can you please call the roll for item 15C?
Commissioner Patillo?
Yes.
Commissioner Yardley?
Yes.
Commissioner Carney?
Yes.
Commissioner Fantasia?
Yes.
Director Fasano?
Yes. Item 15D is an introduction for first reading. This bond ordinance provides for $2.8 million in capital projects at Sussex County Community College, including capital repairs, paving, classroom improvements, academic facility retrofitting, communication improvements, and I believe the purchase of new buses as well. This motion to adopt this ordinance on first reading and to authorize the clerk to advertise this ordinance as introduced for first reading and also post the same on the bulletin board in the lobby of the County Administrative Center, together with a notice of public hearing stating that a hearing will be held on April 6, 2022 at 6 p.m. prior to final adoption of this ordinance. So with that, I would need a motion for item 15D.
Still move.
Okay, Commissioner Carney moves. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Fantasia seconds. Any discussion? Hearing none, Terry, can you please call the roll?
Commissioner Patillo?
Yes.
Commissioner Yardley?
Yes.
Commissioner Carney?
Yes.
Commissioner Fantasia?
Yes.
Director Fasano?
Yes. Item 15E is the introduction for first reading, Ordinance 22-02. This bond ordinance provides for $6,372,356 in improvements at Sussex County Technical School as a result of the award of the competitive Securing Our Children's Future Bond Act. The projects here include the demolition of pool infrastructure, the construction and expansion of classroom space, for vocational and technical programs. And I did just want to mention the Commissioner Board has previously adopted a resolution in support of applying for this grant. So I need a motion to adopt this ordinance on first reading and authorize the clerk to advertise this ordinance as introduced for first reading and also post the same on bulletin board in the lobby of the County Administrative Center, together with a notice of public hearing stating that a hearing will be held on April 6, 2022 at 6 p.m. prior to final adoption of this ordinance. Is there a motion for item 15E?
So moved.
Commissioner Fantasia moves. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Yardley seconds. Any discussion?
Yes, I have just a comment or two about this. For quite a few years, the technical school has been, requesting some mechanism, some stream of funding to be able to renovate that defunct pool area. We know, as far as commissioners and schools in the county, the Sussex Technical School and the college are the only two that we actually have any jurisdiction regarding their budget and their funding. I also am well aware that the VOTEC school, as we all are, is very high in demand. There are so many students that are really wishing to go there. They're always expanding programs. There's simply not enough seats. So I'm very hopeful as they expand, as they renovate, and they actually use grant funding in a smart manner, that we'll be able to serve more students in the county who really wish to pursue career and technical education.
And I'm just going to piggyback on that thanks to the governor's school funding decisions, there's a lot of schools in Sussex County public schools that are losing terrible amounts of state aid. In fact, two here in Sussex County are among the worst in the state, Hopakon and Vernon. And it does beg the question that when you have school districts that are losing 80 to 90% of their state aid, equivalent to 20 or 30% of their overall budget, and their academic institution is supported by taxation, that these districts are going to have no choice other than to be bare bones districts. And it's going to leave those students with less opportunities in their districts, specifically when it comes to technical education. So this also comes as there is an increase in demand for the technical school. There's also a decrease in resources available for technical education in the county. So this investment really could not have come at a more important time, I feel, for the technical school or for any student in Sussex County who has a desire to study anything technical related.
If I can add to that, in our last meeting when the budget was introduced and we had our presentation, also hats off to Wallkill Valley Regional High School, who partnered here with the college for the electrical lineman training program, because that's also innovative. We are seeing more and more that, first of all, there's a severe shortage in labor for technical careers, and for so many years, the elitist view, and I mean, I'm in education, I'm a principal, I used to work at a high school as well, helping students choose, and the quote-unquote stigma is absolutely ludicrous around that, because these are valid careers, they're fulfilling careers, and they're careers that are in such high demand that I'm so happy to see our county is really pushing towards funding schools and programs that actually expand technical education opportunities for students.
Absolutely. Thank you, Don. Any other comments for 15F? I'm sorry, E. Hearing none, do we have a motion to adopt? I'm sorry, we do already have a motion. We have a discussion. Now, Terry, can you please call the roll for 15E?
Commissioner Patillo?
Yes.
Commissioner Yardley?
Yes.
Commissioner Carney?
Yes.
Commissioner Fantasia?
Yes.
Director Bassan?
Yes. Item 15F is the introduction for first reading ordinance 2203. This bond ordinance provides for the appropriation of $8,534,209 of various capital projects and authorizes $7,250,000 in debt to finance these projects. These projects include a roof replacement at the library, a truck enclosure for our tree truck, purchase of heavy trucks, road resurfacing, guide rail replacements, the county's portion of the Mill Street rehabilitation, among other various county projects. So do we have a motion to adopt this ordinance on first reading and authorize the clerk to advertise this ordinance as introduced for first reading and also post the same in the bulletin board of the lobby of the County Administrative Center, together with a notice of public hearing stating that a hearing will be held on April 6, 2022 at 6 p.m. prior to final adoption of this ordinance? Is there a motion for item 15F?
So moved.
Commissioner Fantasia moves.
Second.
Commissioner Patillo seconds. Any discussion?
Yes, just again to point out, thank you to the board and thank you to ELCA for us being able to stick with our capital debt reduction plan that was instituted first and actually really spearheaded by, at the time, Freeholder Hertzberg. And I cannot take, the lion's share of credit for that. He absolutely pushed that forward, and even with COVID, we see that we are not shorting our capital purchases, and we continue to pay larger amounts towards our debt and pay more cash towards this. This is a lower number than would have been just, 4 years ago. So just thank you. So.
Any further discussion? Terry, can you please call the roll for item 15F?
Commissioner Patillo?
Yes.
Commissioner Yardley?
Yes.
Commissioner Carney?
Yes.
Commissioner Fantasia?
Yes.
Director Fasano?
Yes. Next, we have 15E, introduction for first reading ordinance 2204. G.
I'm here for you.
2204, thank you, Chris. This capital ordinance provides for the appropriation of $6,236,256 in fully funded capital projects. The projects include various facility improvements, technology replacement for the prosecutor, library improvements, paving at the Office of Emergency Management, 3 Mason dump trucks, a heavy DPW equipment, crack sealing on county roads, replacements of road and communication systems as well, among other items. So do we have a motion to adopt this ordinance on first reading and to authorize the clerk to advertise this ordinance as introduced for first reading and also post the same on the bulletin board in the lobby of the County Administrative Center, together with a notice of public hearing stating that a hearing will be held on April 6, 2022 at 6 p.m. prior to final adoption of this ordinance? Do we have that motion for 15G?
Still moved.
Commissioner Carney moves. Do we have a second?
Second.
Commissioner Fantasia seconds. Any discussion? Hearing none. Terry, can you please call the roll?
Commissioner Patillo?
Yes.
Commissioner Yardley?
Yes.
Commissioner Carney?
Yes.
Commissioner Fantasia?
Yes.
Director Fasano?
Yes. Next, we have 15H, ordinance 2205. This capital ordinance provides for the appropriation of $815,000 in fully funded capital to pay for the connection fees and sewerage allocation for the technical school to hook up to the sewer main in Sparta. The costs associated with the design and construction of the lines were previously financed with partial state funding in 2014. So do we have a motion to adopt this ordinance on first reading and authorize the clerk to advertise this ordinance as introduced for first reading and also post the same on the bulletin board in the lobby of the County Administrative Center, together with a notice of public hearing stating that a hearing will be held on April 13th? Is that correct? I believe April 6th, correct? Okay, so we're just going to make a quick edit here that is going to say April 6th. 2022 at 6 p.m. prior to final adoption of this ordinance. Do we have a motion for item 15H?
So moved with the amendment of April 6th being changed for the date.
Thank you, Commissioner Fantasia.
Second.
Is there a second? Commissioner Yardley seconds. Any discussion? Hearing none, Terry, can you please call the roll?
Commissioner Patillo?
Yes.
Commissioner Yardley?
Yes.
Commissioner Carney?
Yes.
Commissioner Fantasia?
Yes.
Director Fasano?
Yes. Okay, our final one is introduction for first reading.
Director, it is a typo, I apologize. It is the 6th.
It is the 6th. Okay, no problem. Thank you. Item I is introduction for first reading ordinance 2206. This is an ordinance providing for the adjustment of library fines, fees, and the sale of library materials for the Sussex County library system. This fee ordinance amends the fees charged by the library system. The ordinance will increase fees to keep up with increasing costs of various services, including banner printing, flash drives, earbuds, damaged materials, things of that nature. Is there a motion to adopt this ordinance on first reading and authorize the clerk to advertise this ordinance as introduced for first reading and also post the same on the bulletin board in the lobby of the County Administrative Center, together with a notice of public hearing stating that a hearing will be held on April 6th at 6 p.m. prior to final adoption of this ordinance?
That's where it was inverted. This one is for April 13th. Right? It should be the 6th.
They're all the 6th.
They're all the 6th.
That one's right. Okay. So So with that, do we have a motion for 15I?
So moved.
Commissioner Patillo moves. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Fantasia seconds. Any discussion?
Just discussion for the public. The confusion is our initial meeting was April 13th for all of this, our regularly scheduled meeting of the board. However, due to a lack of quorum on that date for some of the members of the board, the meeting was moved to April 6th. Therefore, all of these are moved to April 6th, and it was just a typo where 13th remained on our initial draft.
Yep. Thank you, Don. Any other discussion? Okay, Terry, can you please call the roll for item 15I?
Commissioner Patillo?
Yes.
Commissioner Yardley?
Yes.
Commissioner Carney?
Yes.
Commissioner Fantasia?
Yes.
Director Fasano?
Yes. Okay, thank you for bearing with us through that. Item 16 on our agenda is our personnel portion. Do we have a motion to adopt the personnel agenda?
So moved.
Commissioner Patillo moves. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Carney seconds. Any discussion? Hearing none, Terry, can you please call the roll?
Commissioner Patillo?
Yes.
Commissioner Yardley?
Yes.
Commissioner Carney?
Yes.
Commissioner Fantasia?
Yes.
Director Fasano?
Yes. Item 17 on our agenda is our administrative report. Elka?
Thank you. I have a report from our county administrator. Sussex County receives a Safety and Loss Control Award. Sussex County received a well-deserved safety award at statewide insurance fund annual reorganization meeting. The county received the Safety Program Award, which recognizes fund members that maintain safety and risk management programs, demonstrate an ongoing effort to improve these practices, and are receptive to the recommendations of the fund's loss control professionals. Division of Treasury update. The county has collected 100% of tax revenue from municipalities for the first quarter. The county is on target, consistent with the introduced budget. Our auditors will begin their audit the first week of April, so the finance department is busy gathering data for their review. Once the audit is complete, we will be preparing for our bond rating and upcoming bond and note sale. Office of Public Health Nursing. The Office of Public Health Nursing is sponsoring women's and men's health screening. Screenings are held at 201 Wheatsworth Road, Suite 4, Hardiston. There is no fee for grant-eligible participants and a $25 fee for those not eligible. Pre-registration is required, and appointments can be made by calling 973-579-0570, extension 1246. And the Division of Senior Services, Catholic Charities, Veterans Services, and Veterans Committee invite Sussex County veterans to attend an appreciation luncheon. This event will be held on Monday, April 25th, 2022 from 11 to 2 p.m. at the Farmstead Golf and Country Club located at 88 Lawrence Road in Lafayette. Pre-registration is required by April 15th, 2022 and can be made by contacting 973-579-0555, extension 1277. And that is the administrator's report.
Thank you, Elka. Item 18, for County Council, we have Ms. Fina joining us, and she does not have a report for us this evening, but thank you for joining us. We'll see you in executive session soon. Item 19 on our agenda is unfinished business. Does any board member have any unfinished business?
I'm not sure if this would fall under unfinished or new. I guess it straddles because it's in perpetuity. But as far as unfinished, I just would like to mention, again, as we read the capital budget requests into the record tonight, none of this would be possible if it wasn't for the work of our department heads, our constitutional officers. We have Sheriff Strada, who did the consolidation for the correctional facility with Morris County. We have County Clerk Jeff Parrott, who in the face of insanely changing election laws and regulations was able to, again, come in significantly under budget. We have Gary Chisano in the surrogate's office, who consistently stays within and under his budget, serving the adult population. A lot of people are confused at really what the surrogate's office does until they're going for an adoption or probate or something along those lines, or for elder services. So again, with the contributions of them, with the contributions of our department heads, and honestly with the contributions of the workers in the county, we've Rome wasn't built overnight, and we're moving towards trying to raise these salaries and benefit levels in Sussex County to be competitive, and take care of our people. We do have the Hazard Pay Initiative. We do have certain contracts that are under negotiation, which obviously we cannot speak about here because they're under negotiation, publicly at this point. But I think we are moving in the right direction, and it really does take everybody. It's not, where there's a hero here, a hero there. It's everybody working together, which is why we're able to have the successes like Herb was able to share at the NJAC Northern meeting. So I just want to thank, a lot of times we sit up here, and the impression might erroneously be, we're patting certain individuals on the back. We certainly should never pat ourselves on the back because we're a work in progress too. But as long as we keep doing what's good and right for the people and the employees, I think we're moving in the right direction. So I just wanted to just say into record, I know these are large numbers when we talk about the budget, but I think it warrants being said out loud.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dawn. Any other unfinished business? Okay, item 20 on our agenda is new business. Does any board member have new business? Hearing none. Item 21 on our agenda is our second public session from the floor. This public session is for those wishing to make general comments of 3 minutes or less on non-agenda topics. When you arrive at the microphone, please maintain a 6 feet social distance with other attendees and state your name and municipality for the record. Is there a motion to open the floor for public comment?
So moved.
Commissioner Patilla moves. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Yardley seconds. Any discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining? And public session from the floor is now open.
Good evening. This is the second time I've appeared before the Commissioners regarding the designation change of the Delaware Water Gap National Recreation Area to that of a national park. Yeah, I'm sorry, Sandy Hull. I live in Layton in Sandyston Township. Attached are the comments for the proposal to create the Delaware Water Gap National Recreation Park and the Lenape Preserve. I preface those comments interjected into the proposal document itself by emphasizing that these comments and objections are not coming from any organized national group of distinction or any representative of one. I'm a citizen whose only voice is sitting here right now. I need you people to listen to what we're saying, and please, I'm begging you again, I'm urging you to take action to oppose this move by the Sierra Club. You have the voice. They will listen to you more readily than a housewife. It is your support and the support of all those who represent us that can ask the hard questions, get useful and correct information to assess the impact of this proposed park legislation. I must take strong exception to two statements in this proposal. Number one, the term trophy hunting implies hunters will come for the racks and not the meat. We hunt and we eat what we take. We hunt for sustenance. Number two, the Cultural and Educational Center for the Lenape Indians, I have, with no deference to them, I have asked the National Park Service at 2 separate meetings to place historical markers along the old mine road where homes once stood and were taken down by bulldozers. Collectively, these homes wove the historical fabric of the old mine road, the oldest commercial road in the country. A random structure left standing in a state of benign neglect does no justice to our culture and our history. Finally, after fighting the land acquisition abuse by the Army Corps of Engineers and the National Park Service for the recreation area, I would hope the efforts of these commissioners will not let history repeat itself. I have here a copy of this statement. I also have a copy of the resolution passed yesterday morning by the Sandyston Township Committee, categorically opposing this proposition by the Sierra Club. I spoke at Montague Township last night, urging them to also pass a resolution. And as you know, in January, Warren County Commissioners passed a resolution supporting this airy, flowery written proposal, which, pardon my French, is bull feces. And I hope that tonight someone there is challenging them also as to their purpose in supporting this resolution. I'm also attached an email I got today from Senator Menendez's office saying that he is still considering his position on this proposal. I also spoke with someone in his office yesterday, and they were forwarding our concerns to the office in Washington. So again, I strongly urge you to please read these. You each have a copy. You can read it as your leisure. My information is connected to all this on a business card. We have a Facebook page. We're getting a website up. We have counts throughout, all kinds of signs throughout the county and throughout our townships trying to make people aware of what's going on. So I hope that if I come before you again, perhaps on your new business, you will have a resolution saying you categorically oppose the action by the Sierra Club. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Terry, will you make sure that every board member is provided a copy of that? Thank you. Any other public comments?
Good evening, William Hayden, Frankfurt. Quick couple of questions. One, I understand there's supposed to be hazard pay for the county employees through the American Rescue Funds. Where are we with that? Is there any of that money being used for local businesses? Has that been discussed? And two, something really disturbing that came to my attention today is that there's a possibility of mandatory vaccines for employees. I can't see any of you supporting that. I just want to put it out there that that was brought up. So those are some of my questions. The other thing is I strongly support Ms. Hull. We will lose a lot of land there that is used for farming. There are leases. Those leases will be subject to being relinquished. And I don't know any hunters in this county that hunt for trophy. Everybody packs their freezers. So please support everything she's doing. She's working very hard. Let's not let that turn into something it shouldn't be. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other public comments?
Good evening, Alex Majewski, Newton. I know that there may be some items you cannot disclose of this because we'll get into it. It's been about 14 months since the sheriff's contract has been approved. I'm just curious if there's any update of a time frame of when that will be approved and if there's anything that we can notify the public about that may be holding up that process. Thank you.
Thank you.
Christina Marks, Franklin, New Jersey. It's just a quick little comment. I just wanted to take the opportunity to thank Commissioner Fantasia for her words during the unfinished business about recognizing the employees and the struggles that they are experiencing through low wages and the board's commitment to trying to get those steps in process to raise those. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Are there any other public comments? No worries.
Charles Terrett, I'm a resident of Sanderson, and I would just like to voice my opposition to the Sierra Club's resolution. I don't think that we need a change in the designation of the Delaware Water Gap National Recreation Area. It seems to be working as far as I can see. I don't think that if you give the government more power, it's going to be something that'll work in our advantage. I know they've said that with more funding, they can take better care of the area, but I think perhaps there are other ways they could take care of it without having to take things away from us. And I think if you give them more power, they will just, they never relinquish it. You don't get anything back. They don't give it back. I also would like to dispute their numbers. They claim that we have very high numbers of visitors to the Water Gap. There are a lot of roads, commuter roads that run through it. Route 206 going across the Milford Bridge, 560 going across the Dingman's Bridge. People traveling those roads, by and large, are not traveling them to visit the Water Gap Recreation Area. They're going to work, either going to work in New Jersey, from Milford, from Dingman's. There's a lot of traffic from Pennsylvania that comes through the area. And I think that when they say that we have more visitors there, or practically as many visitors as we get in some of the national parks, I think that is distorted figures. And I would just like to voice my opposition. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Maureen Verbeek from Sandyston Township. I just want you to take very seriously the words that Sandy has given and look into this. As she said, the town, the government will listen more to your concerns than ours. There's a lot of traffic that goes down our roads, like my other neighbors said, and it's frightening to think if we actually do get this increase of people coming to a national park to our area. I can't see the infrastructure being able to sustain it. So please consider it and look at this, and we appreciate that very much because it's we're a gem. We're definitely a gem up there, and if we get too many people, that polish is going to go away. So thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other public comments? Okay, is there a motion to close the floor for public comment and return to regular business?
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Fantasia moves, Commissioner Carney seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining? Motion carries. Just going back to some of those comments, I know Commissioner Fantasia is going to talk a little bit more about the Sierra Club designation. I did just want to thank those who came to our meeting to bring that to our awareness and to educate us on that. Regarding hazard pay and where are we on that, I am going to say that we are on the final step, and I hope that we are nearing the end of this process once and for all. That's where I think we are on that. Is there any hazard pay funding being used for small businesses? The answer to that is hopefully yes. That's what we are meeting on Friday to discuss. I mentioned at our last meeting that I reached out to the president of the Sussex County Chamber of Commerce, Tammy, to ask for her assistance in Sussex County creating a small business grant program for Sussex County small businesses, something we have not done before. And regarding the contract or any contract, it is a legal matter. I have counsel next to me who would kick me if I said anything differently, other than the goal is to get it resolved as soon as humanly possible. Dawn, do you have anything you want to add regarding Sierra Club?
I do. Regarding the Sierra Club, I just want to preface this by saying, I can't say the Sierra Club, regarding the designation of the Delaware Water Gap area, I can say with great certainty 99% of the time we are aligned with our friends on the Warren County side and the Warren County Commissioner Board. However, I can also say with great certainty I believe this is one situation where Warren County got it drastically incorrect. There are certain things we don't like up here. We don't like restricted hunting. We don't like egregious use of eminent domain. And we certainly don't like land grabs under the guise of preservation when it limits our already limited ability to hunt, which is one of the largest conservation activities anybody can do for the protection and preservation of the land and wildlife. I know I am one vote on this board, and we have much to discuss. However, in alignment directly with the press release from the NJOA, who are adamantly opposed and do note the serious lack of information provided by groups that do support this, I am 100% in opposition to this new designation, and I plan to speak, with the board further for our next agenda meeting to see if, we are in alignment, and I have the support of the board to put forward a resolution opposing that designation.
Thank you, Dawn. Item 22 on our agenda is our reminders, and we'd just like to remind you briefly to always check the county's website, sussex.nj.us, for meeting schedules, updates, COVID guidance, business guidance, anything you can think of county-related is there. And item 23 on our agenda is our executive session reading, which I will leave to Terry.
Whereas the subject matters about to be discussed may be excluded from the public portion of the meeting by resolution of the Board of County Commissioners as an exception to the Open Public Meetings Act pursuant to NJSA 10:4-12B, and whereas it appears necessary for the Board of County Commissioners to discuss such matters in executive session, now therefore be it resolved that the Board of County Commissioners of the County of Sussex, in accordance with the provisions of NJSA 10:4-12B and NJSA 10:4-13, that the Board at this time enter into an executive session from which the public shall be excluded, and be it further resolved that the general nature of the subjects to be discussed relate to the following items authorized by NJSA 10:4-12B as item number 7, matters relating to litigation, negotiations, and the attorney-client privilege. Topic, attorney-client communication. Be it further resolved that the deliberations conducted in closed session may be disclosed to the public upon the determination of the Sussex County Board of County Commissioners or provided by law, and that the public interest will no longer be served by such confidentiality. And be it further resolved that upon completion of the business for which the Board has entered into the executive session, the Board shall not resume its meeting open to the public, and therefore the Board will adjourn the meeting at the conclusion of executive session.
Thank you, Terry. With that, is there a motion to adopt the executive session resolution and enter into executive session?
So moved.
Commissioner Fantasia moves. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Patillo seconds. Any discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining? Motion carries. Thank you, everybody. Get home safe. Thank you.